Greetings gamers, welcome to part 35 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 10 Radiant Dawn. In today's episode, I have much to do about the Begnion army. However, some changes are about to be made, some very interesting ones. General Zelgius, General Sigrun of the Holy Guards is here to see you. Should I let her through? General Sigrun, let her through at once. Is something the matter, General? You do not look well. Should I send for something? Water, perhaps?
General Zelgius, I carry an order from the Senate. The ceasefire has been repealed. You are ordered to destroy the Leguz Alliance and their allies as well.
What? The enemy has already lost the will to fight. The Apostle and Lord Sephiran would never agree to such a terrible plan. General Sigrun?
Lord Sephiran of Perseus has been stripped of his titles as Prime Minister and head of the Senate. He is currently under arrest and is charged with committing high treason and fomenting rebellion.
No, impossible. This is madness.
It doesn't end there. The Apostle has gone into seclusion, with illness as the stated reason.
Damn it, they've been captured.
I've ordered my subordinates to find out where the Apostle is, but I have yet to hear any word. General Zelgius, I beg of you, follow the Senate's orders. Our friends' lives are at risk.
Curse those senators. Deviant bunch of bastards. Very modern political. Daein Keep? Why could we be there?
You called for me, Your Majesty?
It is nice to see you, Micaiah. You remain Daein's blanker of glory. But I never see your face around here anymore. Are you busy in town?
Your Majesty, my room in the castle is much too lavish for my taste. I'd rather be in town helping with the reconstruction. It's good work, and it makes me happy to help our people. How precious. Still obsessed with garnering the adoration of peasants, are we? Aren't you past that yet, my dear?
Mother, please, stop. Micaiah is my dear friend. She is the only person I have to turn to for a kind word now that Izuka and the Black Knight have both left Daein. They mysteriously disappeared on the day of my coronation. Do you think they'll ever return?
I'm quite sure that they were both kidnapped by those who wished to harm you, my beloved son. Those mongrels intend to throw the country into chaos by holding Daein's leaders hostage. But Mother will always protect you, Peleus. I'll never leave you, not for one moment. When you seek kind words or good advice, you must come to me, and no one else.
I understand, Mother.
The royal blood of Daein runs through your veins. Do not be afraid of your heritage. Reign over your people as a king. Whatever popularity that girl might garner from the peasants is of little consequence. Glad you are stating it, because it is something that is most evident that even if Micaiah doesn't mean this, the problem is you have to be very careful with how you do this, because it can cause rifts when you've got like a general, as she is so unaptly named, out there on the streets helping people individually. I think the king should be doing that in order to demonstrate his closeness with the people, not some general so-called. She is your obedient subject, after all. Now give her your orders.
Micaiah, Daein's Maiden of Dawn, your king requires your service once more. Mobilize the Daein royal army immediately.
Another war? Against who?
We are answering the request from the Begnion Empire to wipe out the barbaric Leguz Alliance. Your targets are Gallia's subhumans. $4,000 bonus experience points just for clearing. I wonder if you get a clear bonus for beating that chapter way earlier.
During the war between the Leguz Alliance and Begnion, the three remaining countries on Tellius, Daein, Crimea, and Goldoa, have thus far remained neutral. In Daein, the war for independence is over, and Prince Peleus has been crowned king. Daein is now free from Begnion's rule, and is once again universally recognized as a sovereign nation. Micaiah decides to honor the promise she had made, and continue on as the general of Daein's armies until the country stabilizes. Most of her companions remain by her side, helping to restore their beloved country. It is their hope that Daein will recover soon, both politically and socially. Focused as they are, they realize that they can spare no time on outside concerns, including the current war in Begnion. However, King Pelias has a mysterious change of heart and orders Micaiah into the war on Begnion's side.
Chapter 6, A Reason to Fight. Inside Begnion's border, west of the Raban River. Are you sure about this, Micaiah? This makes absolutely no sense.
The Daein royal army will answer Begnion's request and attack the Leguz alliance at the Raban River. Those are our orders from King Pelias. As his subjects, we will obey him.
Without even asking why? Daein is finally back on its own? Why are we even speaking to Begnion, let alone fighting for them?
I don't know. I do know that King Pelias wants what's best for Daein, just like us. He must know something we don't. I trust him. He's changed since the coronation, though. He doesn't smile or laugh anymore. Maybe it's because Azuka and the Black Knight vanished.
I'd be smiling more if Azuka vanished. Being honest. Who cares about Pelias smiling or laughing? We have no quarrels with the Leguz alliance. Why are we targeting them?
Well, with a few exceptions, the soldiers are excited about hunting down the Leguz. They've been promised a large bounty for each one they kill. It certainly raised morale.
Listen to yourself. Leguz hunting? That's just great. We've gone from being freedom fighters to bigots in the blink of an eye. I can't believe you'd go along with such a murderous plan. How do you feel about this, Micaiah? Tell me the truth.
I don't want to fight.
Then why are...
What choice do I have? I'm the general of this army. You can leave. Hello, you're a little girl.
There is many men in Daein who are more apt to leading this nation's army than some little girl. Leave with your band of friends. That's exactly what I and anybody else with half a mind of decent intelligence would do.
It doesn't matter how I feel. Besides, I can't let the king or our soldiers down. My duty ultimately lies with them. I'm sorry.
Following Pelias' orders is the same as approving of them. Yes. I don't approve of my country's government, and if you don't approve of yours, you don't follow their orders.
South, you don't have to do this. I heard that your friend Ike is fighting on the side of the Leguz alliance. Go fight with them, or don't fight at all. But don't let me force you into anything.
I'm not leaving your side. I swore I'd protect you no matter what. I keep my promises. If I can't talk you out of this insanity, I'll fight Commander Ike and his men.
South.
But we better prepare ourselves. This fight will be harder than any we've had before.
Thank you. I know this isn't easy, but if one side must fall, I will do all I can to make sure it is not Daein. I have no other choice.
Info. A boatload, to be sure.
I wonder what this is.
Let me see. Ah, that's a Master Crown. King Pelias got one especially for you.
How do you use it?
He said that Bjork who honed their combat skills could use it to gain their further power.
Someone who has refined their skills? I see. So not everyone can use it?
Sounds like it. It's a very precious item, so choose the recipient with care.
All right.
Get a Master Crown. I know exactly who I'm giving this to. Or I have an idea of who exactly I'm giving this to. There is somebody in Micaiah's party. He should actually be there now, I think. If not, it's going to be in a few chapters. I'm going to be giving him quite a bit of bonus experience points. Not all, but quite a bit of bonus experience points in Master Crowning him because he is going to be a permanent staple of my team and very important to the success of Micaiah's Dawn Brigade.
Here you go, Jill. This weapon is for you. Thank you. Lady Micaiah, I have to ask, what is the purpose of this war? King Pelias has decided to come to the aid of Begnion. Has he deigned to share his reasoning with you? Micaiah, this war is madness. Why would he ask us to aid Begnion? I don't know. Wonderful. I believe in our king, that's all I can say. At least someone does.
A brave axe for Jill. Very nice.
Edward, I have something for you. Really?
What is it?
It's a gift from King Pelias, one of Daein's national treasures, the blade Khalidbolg.
What? Whoa, this thing is amazing. I've never seen a blade so sharp. Is it really for me?
That means the king's counting on me, right? Well, Calidbolg and I won't let him down. Listen, Edward, this war, Daein really shouldn't be.
Huh? Shouldn't be what?
Oh, never mind. It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Okay, sure, Micaiah? Look, I don't know anything about kings or nobles or anything else like that, but you're fighting because you believe it's what's best for Daein, right? And well, that's good enough for me. I'm with you, no matter what.
Oh, Edward.
Now I want to use this sword. They are going to write songs about me after this, I just know it.
I cannot wait to show that sword off. Calidbolg. Leonardo, King Pelias asked me to present you with this bow. This is Legnisada. It's been stored away in the vaults of Daein, waiting for someone worthy enough. It's more powerful than the purest silver bow.
It's beautiful. Honestly, this bow is beyond my skill. It was crafted for better hands than mine. I guess we really have to win now, don't we?
Yes, I suppose so.
Don't look so sad, Micaiah. You're not responsible for this war. We're doing the best we can hope to do. But I'm fighting for Daein. The circumstances may change, but my feelings never will. And then Nolan.
Hello, Nolan. A gift from King Pelias has arrived for you.
You're kidding me. It can't be. That's Tarvis, isn't it? That's one wicked-looking axe. I'd heard stories about the fabled axe of Daein, but to actually feel the heft. King Pelias wants me to have it. I always did like that man. I'll take good care of it, don't you worry.
I know you will, Nolan. King Pelias does too. That's why he's chosen you to give it to you.
Micaiah, look. I know how hard it is to be a commander, especially with all of this confusion and doubt flying around. Fighting a war you don't believe in is a bitter pill to swallow.
Nolan,
Just remember something, will you? We're still the Dawn Brigade. Lots of us aren't your comrades, we're your family. If you need anything, we're with you. No matter what. Nothing's going to change that.
Oh, Nolan, thank you so much.
Tarvis. So, do I have any supports I can do? I think... No, they can't reach max yet. Jill might be able to... No, she can't support with Volug either. Okay, so that unit is not here. So when he does come here, I'm going to have to deal with that said unit. I have a lot of inventory management to do, but before I do the inventory management, I wanted to show off the new weapons I have obtained. So this is a preferential axe for Nolan only, a weapon given to the Dawn Brigade by Pelias in reward for their service. 18 might, 100 hit, 5 crit, and 12 weight. Would you believe me if I told you that this is not the strongest, even close to the strongest, one range axe in this game? It's actually incredible when you think about that. The cool thing about these weapons, though, is they also give stat buffs. So he gets +4 defense from that. I am going to be using and abusing these weapons to their fullest extent. Just period. They are amazing, fantastic weapons. It is utterly foolish not to use them. I'm going to definitely equip that so I can show you the wonder of the Calidbolg. A weapon given to the Dawn Brigade by Pelias in reward for their service. This is preferential to Edward, 15 might, 85 hit, 5 crit, 8 weight. 8 luck. Now, 8 luck is probably the least useful stat buff that it could have given, but at least it's a high amount. It does help him with his dodge and avoid, as well as hit too. And then Leonardo. Leonardo desperately needs all the help he can get. So when you equip the Lugnisada, or the Lugnasad, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to pronounce it however. This gives a +5 speed. Pretty darn good. Something that he desperately needs, especially because it only weighs 5, so he's never going to be weighed down by this. I think even base Leonardo has more strength than that. So, a weapon given to the Dawn Brigade by Pelias in reward for their service. For Leonardo only, 16 might, 100 hit, 5 crit, and 5 weight. Very good weapon. Now, with all that being said, I have a lot, and I mean a lot of managing to do, so I will be back momentarily, folks. Welcome back, gamers, and yes, there's a lot of things that I had to take care of. First and foremost, Micaiah, now that she is a light sage, the light priestess of Daein, in addition to light magic, she can also use sacred staves. So I gave her Paragon and Discipline, so she's going to gain staff rank and light rank very quickly now, as well as experience points. I also gave her a Torch and a Physic. She's going to need this Torch very much. Physic as well. You do have these options to buy these two things in the bargains. I strongly, very strongly recommend it. She doesn't need anything other than her Thani, so I sold all the light tomes I have. You are going to need a Beast Killer on your Soth. Now, the interesting thing is, and I totally forgot about this, but the shop bargain actually sells one. It's not that expensive either, only 1,200 gold, so I actually bought another one because it's likely that you're going to need more than just one, especially if you're using Soth to his full capacity, because almost all of the enemies that the Dawn Brigade are fighting throughout the entirety of Chapter 3, or Part 3, are nothing but Legus. And the reason why is because that gives them a whole lot more experience points. And it's basically so that they can become up to snuff. Because most of your Dawn Brigade are either very high ranked or very high leveled first tier or very low level second tier. And you saw how powerful Grail Mercenaries were when they started. So Volug actually gets a change of a skill. I believe he had Half Shift, and I want to say that that's 100% the case before Part 3, and now he has Wild Heart, cuts experience points gained in half, but allows the unit to transform at any time. So his stats are no longer 50% buffed, they are doubled, like they would normally be with a Legus. This is great, because that means I can constantly have an extra hand. Of course, I'm going to be using all of these Yahoos like normal, Jill as well. Aaron, Meg, Fiona, they've been permanently benched. Z-Hark is definitely going to be joining for some help because I'm going to need all the help I can possibly muster. But Leonardo gained Beast Foe, inflicts bonus damage against Beast Tribe Legus. So this 16 might during the Beast chapters is actually going to be 48 might. That's incredible. What it means is that he's going to near one-shot most of the Legus, or come very darn close, and because he has 20 speed, he's going to double some of them. What this is going to allow is for Leonardo to train. Now, Soth and Micaiah are the only two units in my party that I'm actually keeping out of the entire Dawn Brigade. Now, well, that's not true. There is one more. There is just one more who rejoins the Dawn Brigade, who stays in the Dawn Brigade, whom I'm going to also be using permanently. But Micaiah and Soth do not have their promotions until Part 4. So even though I gave her Paragon, that's kind of a formality. She doesn't actually need it if you're using staves and being smart with her, but it pays to make her level faster. Micaiah is the latest promotion for a Lord character in the entire series of Fire Emblem, if I'm not mistaken. I think the only one who could potentially have give her a run for her money is Roy, but the problem is that Roy does so after like 20-some chapters, and that game only has 20-some chapters, whereas this game has 40-something chapters, and she does it pretty much at the very end, like the very end. So there's no actual rush getting her experience points, but I definitely think Discipline is worth it on her, because she needs an S rank in Light, and she needs, well, actually a double S rank in Light and a double S rank in Staves, because all of the Lord characters in this game get double S ranks in all of their weapon types. My problem with Radiant Dawn, and I understand they wanted to differentiate units, so you couldn't just have like Titania get double S rank sword when you have another, you would have to use like a sword paladin to get that double S rank in sword. For a paladin, like Makalov, for instance. I don't like this because in every game prior, except for, well, I mean, I guess except for Thracia and, well, no, Thracia too. In every game prior, you could get the maximum weapon rank for whatever weapon you chose. So, for instance, in the GBA Fire Emblem games, the paladins had either 2 or 3 weapon types, and you could get an S rank with any of those. Now, you could only get one, granted, but you could get an S rank with either or any, and that was awesome. So the Lord characters in those games got S ranks and everything, but you could choose which S rank you got. In this game, that's not the case.
So somebody like Fiona, even though she's going to promote to a Silver Knight, which would allow her to have bows and lances, because you either have axes and swords or you have bows and lances in the end game of Paladins. She can never get a double S rank in bows. It's always going to be lances for her, because that's the weapon she starts with. I don't like this because it doesn't allow you to differentiate your units. So for instance, I would actually prefer all of my generals to either have a double S rank in sword or a double S rank in axe. In fact, I would actually prefer them to have a double S rank in sword, because even though axes are the better weapons in this game, swords have the better 1-2 range weapons in the end game. The better 1-2 range option for a double S rank sword. So with that being said, there are some things that I find I don't really love about the way that this game was balanced, and oh my gosh, could we talk about how ignorant balance is. But I'm pretty well set. My skills have been managed. Most of my units have, pretty good skills on them. I gave Zhark parity just because he doesn't have anything else he's going to use. I ended up giving the second adept I have. Well, actually, I only have one adept, don't I? Yeah, I only have one adept. I ended up giving that to Nolan because he doesn't have the speed like Edward or Leonardo do. So it would be nice for him to proc it and be able to attack multiple times, especially because he has a ton of might. Any one of Nolan, Edward, or Leonardo are amazing candidates for Beast Foe because of their new acquired weapons. Soth, it's a waste because he's got the Beast Killer, and the Beast Killer is a fantastic weapon as it is. Yes, it's only 9 might, but you're going to fail to find very many daggers that aren't super expensive that have that might. You honestly are. Plus, it has 20 crit. Like, you basically have a killing weapon that has triple effectiveness against the overwhelming majority of the units that the Dawn Brigade fight in Part 3. It's kind of interesting in that matter. So with that being said, it is time to move forward. That night, east of the Raban River. We just began crossing the river. This fog worries me. I can't see the other side at all.
When we first crossed the river, it was in triumph, thanks to that tiny strategist.
Come on, Scrimmer, you're hurting morale.
I was defeated by a Bjork. How can I return to Gallia with this shame? If only I had died, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation.
Scrimmer, stop. If you had died, Gallia would have lost a brave soldier.
Brave? I am a failure. Please, leave me alone.
Hey, Kaiser, do you smell that?
I can't smell anything. What is it?
Maybe it's just my imagination.
Think hard. What kind of smell is it?
Hello, Captain Renoff. Well, let's see. What is that smell? Oh, I know. It smells like one of those torches that the Bjork use.
What? Are we being pursued? I don't smell any Bjork.
That's because the wind is blowing from the other side.
Oh no.
I have a bad feeling about this. Call a halt on the river crossing. Kaiser, liar, go tell everyone else. I'll make a run for the lead force and tell them, and let them know. I just hope it's not too late. No, the enemy is here. No way.
Liar, run to the left wing and inform them of the situation. Liar.
Not yet. Wait for them to get closer, everyone. Stay quiet.
There's the lead force.
Everyone, take your positions. Attack.
Okay, choose units. Of course, I'm not going to be bringing anybody anymore that I am not actually using in this party. I do want to bring Laura for her extra healing, but she dies to like a very literal stray wind. You know what? I kind of want to bring Aaron too. And even though I just said that I don't want to bring anyone that I don't want to use, but the thing is that I still want Aaron and Laura to get the A rank support. I think they only need a B, but it doesn't particularly matter. I'm going to be keeping them far and away out of
like the position of these wonderful, wonderful enemies I'm about to face. Now, granted, this chapter actually has a hidden item or two, and one of them happens to be something very fantastic. I believe it is... Well, actually, no, it only has one hidden item. I believe it's right... I want to say it's right here. It's either here or here. Pretty close to here. It's a brave bow. Now I'm second guessing myself. Sometimes this doesn't look right. I think it's either here or here. Yes. A brave bow. This is, I believe, the only brave bow you get in the entire game. So if you want it, you better get it. Okay. Perfect. Micaiah is going to stay in the way, way back. Sothe and everybody else is going to play defensive. Jill is a level 1 Dragon Master. I did promote her. That's pretty good. She also has a wonderful Brave Axe, so that's nice also. Alright, time to fight. Okay, so a very good idea to do is to use Micaiah and have the Torch Staff. The Torch Staff is so good. It gives her experience upon experience for nothing. And I kind of recommend that you blow it this chapter. Look at that weapon experience point. She was at C. What is that, 1/6 or 1/7 of that bar already? So she's going to get B rank by the end of this chapter for sure. 42 times 2. What even is going on? Leonardo, you beast of a man. Okay, so the upper portion is blocked by these dead trees. I'm almost certain that the Brave Bow is right here. You only have a 2-space wide opening right here to fight him. So the good idea here is to wait with your strong units, defend as best as you can, and then focus on defending the right side, because the right side has a lot of openings. Right here is an opening, and then you have these 2 openings. So it's not like a crazy amount, but it is way more. And you don't necessarily want to be immediately destroyed in this chapter. Thrower. Now, the yellow units, I don't typically hold them back, because if you halt them, they will not heal you or heal each other. And the problem with that is that you kind of really want that. You really want that. Okay. So what I could do here is... Nice. I was afraid that wasn't going to hit. Very nice, Edward. And as you can see, even without Paragon, these units are going to level like you wouldn't believe. The problem is that most of them are such trash that even if they do level up... Oh, does that say half shift? Does that mean he's only going to have half stats? I think it... Really? So then I was thinking wrong. The description lied to me. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's only a half shift. What that kind of means is I kind of want to take that Wild Heart away from him. Because even though, yes, his transformation is better than not having a transformation, like... I don't like that at all. Converse. Converse. And then end my turn. Do not, and I mean do not rely on these yellow units to clog up the spaces for you. You have to fill in the gaps as well. Otherwise, what you're going to have happen is that the yellow units will go and they'll surround like one singular unit, attack them, and, you know, that's great and all, except for the fact that now they're not clogging any actual spaces. None of those yellow units actually did anything particular for the clogging up of spaces. Blast! We're being ambushed. Turn back, brothers, turn back.
Never.
What did you just say?
We're the Beast Tribe. I'd rather die than be a coward.
Fine, no pulling back. We stay here and fight to the last. All forces attack.
Yeah, it's kind of to be expected that Volug is being attacked there. Wait a minute, what is going on? He has a gauge? Very strange things are happening. Very strange. Thrower, iron knife. Perfect. So yes, I am using this as an opportunity to train up some of my units on the Dawn Brigade, just for the help's sake, because other than that, they don't really need training. They're not going to be that useful. But for the time that I am using them, I need them as much as possible to be as good as possible as well. Otherwise, you know, there's just, you know, the issue of not having things done in a good manner. You also don't want to attack any of the Beast Tribe when they're untransformed. It's just, you're wasting experience points if you do that. Because they're treated as, I believe they're treated as tier... I think they're still treated as tier 2, right? I don't know, because they might be treated as tier 1 when they're untransformed at this low of a level. But yeah, that's going to be my turn. You want enough Dawn Brigade units to block off all these spaces at the very least. Yeah, the yellow units are wasting my experience points. Granted, that bow unit is about to perish, so... He's blocking off that space. Now, do get used to this chapter. It's going to be very familiar to you in a chapter coming up. Now, the physics staff gives a lot more experience points than the torch staff, so if you have the ability to heal, it's probably for the best.
Leith, you idiot, why won't you fall back? The soldiers think that if we retreat any longer, we'd be throwing away our pride. You're following the lead of some blood-crazed soldiers? You're supposed to be in charge. I know that retreat is the same course of action. Ran off. But if we run now, we'd lose the values we hold dearest in our hearts.
Fine, Leith. As long as it's your decision, not someone else's. I'll join the others in the back and watch over Scrimmer. We're counting on you. And with that, it is the finish of my episode 35. It's actually very crazy that the Dawn Brigade is thrown in this, and you're basically fighting against Ike's forces. Not necessarily in this chapter, because you are fighting against Ranoff and the other Beast Tribe. You're not fighting Ike particularly, but it's just an interesting dynamic that this game does. I love that. So it is one of the greatest things about Radiant Dawn, is that you have forces pitted against each other. Nobody knows who the good guy is. It's pretty obvious who the good guys are and the bad guys. I would say Daein is definitely the bad guy in this situation. Begnion is definitely the bad guy, but there's a reason why Daein is following these crazed orders and helping Begnion. It's actually the same reason why Kilvis and Naysala were doing some shady things all throughout Path of Radiance, and even in this game. We're going to find out why that is later on. But I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.